Time now for a look at our weather, and what an active weather day. Danny McFarland joins us. Wow.
Yeah.
It's been quite the morning and afternoon.
Not a lot of rain, but it really came down when it did.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So it's not lasting all day, but, you know, there was some periods. We even saw some hail, too, which is very unusual for March. But there's a reason why we saw it, and I'll talk about that in a second.
All right.
Yep, but at least for right now, let's go ahead and look at the radar, because there's also some snow happening on the mountains, and I kind of want to highlight that for you first. It's mostly over in Cochise County. You can see there is some areas there where you have blue on the radar. That is going to be indicating where there's snow, and even near Tucson, you're just having just a little bit there as well. Now, further down towards the south, I do want to take just a quick look down there near Nogales, because they also had some hail near the high school, I was told earlier today. And mostly for now, it looks like you're just going to have lighter showers passing you by over the next half hour or so. There's only one area of thunderstorms left, and it's going to be just over towards the west of Tucson, outside of 3 Points. So if you live in between 3 Points and Tucson Estates, that's the one area that we're tracking where you might actually have some heavy rain and severe, or I should say, some strong winds. But as you can see right here, as far as that severe weather threat, it's not really there. So the reason why we saw hail today and why we aren't necessarily seeing severe thunderstorms is because the atmosphere is very cold. So you just have that water freezing and falling down. It's not like we're going to have a tornado threat or anything like that, like you typically would see when you have hail. You're only having these cloud heights at around 20,000 feet. In order for one of those real strong storms during summer to produce any kind of hail, it needs to be above 40,000 feet. So that's something else we're going to be looking at, of course, for monsoon, not so much for the end of March. And there's already going to be some places across the state that are just about done with the rainfall. After this blue line, which is, of course, that cold front passes you by, it's going to be over. Now, for Tucson, I still think we have a couple more hours before that officially happens. But if you're in a spot like Ajo or Sells, pretty confident you guys are just about done with that rain. But that wind should be there for the next few hours, even after we have this rain ending. So far, the strongest wind gust that we've had at the Tucson airport has been around 35 miles per hour. But of course, that number's been just a bit higher for some other spots around Tucson. We've even probably had some wind gusts around 45 to even 50 miles per hour. Now, here's going to be what it looks like around 6 o'clock or so. You're going to see most of it's done with Tucson at that point in time. But keep in mind your commute home, if you're still at work, still going to have wet roads, so that's going to be something to watch out for at that point in time. But I don't think a lot of you are going to be having that rain sticking around at that point. For overnight tonight, we're looking all clear. In fact, most of those clouds should be on the way out. And by Wednesday, looking all clear as well throughout that entire time. Here's going to be something fun to look at. This is going to be the top of Mount Bigelow, where they're still seeing that snow falling down. You can even see right there, you are having plenty of it at the top of the mountains. And I also just looked at Mount Lemmon, where they're having about 3 inches of snow so far. They're also having more expected over the next little bit, as you saw on the radar earlier. Temperatures for Tucson itself looking at 60 degrees, starting to get a bit more sunshine coming through, and that humidity and dew point still high enough where I think that rain chance is, of course, going to be there. Now, over the next 7 days, you're not going to see too much change after this. There's not going to be any crazy days where we're up to the 90s or we're expecting any kind of rain or hail or anything like that. But 73 for your Wednesday. You're expecting 79 on Thursday. I'm thinking a few extra clouds on that day, but it's going to be too dry for any chance of rain. And look at this weekend, 85, 82. You really can't beat it. So people that disliked the 90s, you're looking great for that time. And hey, Sean, we were talking before last weekend about the evenings. Going to be nice. That's not going to change either during that time.
Beautiful.
Boy, I'll tell you, you want to see the weather change, like they say, just blink.
Yeah,
I know.
Go outside, you'll see it.
It's going to be another great weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Keep them coming. Thanks, Danny.